What's up, legends? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Fitness and Lifestyle Podcast. And today I'm joined by a great friend of mine, Mitch. Mitch, how are you, brother? It's been fucking ages since I've seen you or even really heard your voice. How's things, man?
I was about to say, last time I saw you, you had a shaved head. So
Yeah, mate. Well,
that's how long it's been.
Unfortunately, haven't been supporting the local hairdressers throughout COVID, and I haven't had a haircut in about 12 months. But mate, it's been fucking ages. A lot's changed since last time we caught up, especially since the last time we did an episode on here. But we'll unpack a bit of it today. But first off, man, what's news? What's been happening in your life?
Oh, what hasn't? I'm obviously a dad now. I haven't drank since December 2019. I've lost a lot of weight. Still, I train lots, run lots now, do a lot of boxing. There's been a fair bit. Like, honestly, don't really know where to start because in the last 12 months, basically everything's changed.
Yeah, bloody oath, man, and all for the better too. I mean, from the outside in, it looks like it, and we'll have a chat about it today. But take us back. So you just said December 19th, 2019. Sorry, in December. That's when the last time you had a drink was.
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy. So what was the process or the thought process behind not touching a drink, and was the intention initially to stop drinking altogether, or was it just for a short period of time?
Every time I tried to stop drinking, it was always like with the intention of wanting to stop forever. Even when I stopped for a month or 2 months, like I was hoping I'd be able to string along enough days to eventually not want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That was always the plan. Obviously, the only reason you stop or put those processes in place is because you've got a problem with your drinking or, your drugs, whatever it leads to. So the only reason you do set those restrictions is because clearly you're trying to help yourself. So whenever I did do it, I always knew that it was in excess and that I needed to change something. So, I decided that day that it wasn't going to be a temporary thing, like that was it. And there was no going back.
And what was the difference this time around compared to the others? You said just then that you tried a few times, or you had intentions of trying a few times to stop for good. Why this time? How come this time around it worked, and why have you not gone back to it? And then I guess the last part of that bit, and we won't spend too much time talking about it, but is there any intention to ever go back and have just a few drinks again, or are you going to stay off the grog for good?
So it went from like I shouldn't drink or I shouldn't do that to a must. Like,
yep.
I must not do it. Like, everything in my life was sort of fine apart from that area. Mm-hmm. And what that unraveled and like all the work that undid was basically everything. Like, it got between my relationships, my health, my happiness, everything. So I was like, okay. So in like a simple form, I was like, if I stop doing that, what gets better? Everything.
Yeah.
And as if I don't do it, what gets worse? And it was everything. So it was like, I either did it and everything got better, or I didn't and everything was fucked. So it's pretty simple when I looked at it like that.
Yeah. And so as I said before, like, is the plan to not touch the beers again?
Yeah, no, nothing. So I just not in anything that, is ego-based and ego-driven. So stimulants like, cocaine, alcohol, all that shit. Like, I hated who it made me.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to go back to that. Like, even when I think about it now, like, I hate who I was on the piss. I hate who I was when I was on the rack. Like, I hate, like, when I look at that person, think about that person, I'm just like, oh, it just repels me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's an awesome decision. And I mean, obviously you and I are close mates, and we were working together heaps when you're in Melbourne and spending a fair bit of time together. And unfortunately haven't been able to hang out much since you've moved up north, but just being able to see from the outside in and just chatting to you, it seems like everything's changed for the better. And before we get on to the biggest change, obviously, with a little fella in your life now. What do you think's been the biggest improvements in your life, aside from obviously what's come of, having starting your own family, but what's been the biggest improvements from stepping away from drinking? Like, how much has your health improved? Not only physically, but mentally as well. Business decisions, the opportunities that you've been able to actually pursue now because you're so mentally clear all the time. Like what's that look like?
Well, I've gone from having, what would be probably maybe 3 productive days a week at max when I was partying, if that, maybe 2. And were they even productive? Not really. To now basically 8 productive days a week.
Yeah.
You're always on.
And you found an extra day.
I found an extra, I feel like I've got just endless amount of time to get shit done. And whether it's like, I always feel like exercising. I always feel like doing stuff because I'm never like hungover. I'm never just feeling like shit.
Mm.
And like, even just like saving money and stuff like that, like it's all so much easier because the only stupid decisions I ever made was on the piss.
On the piss, yeah. Mental health wise, how much of a difference has it made? Obviously, everyone feels like shit when they're hungover, but even like just on normal days, do you feel like you got a lot more clarity now? Feel like you're able to be, I guess, a bit more at peace with everything all the time instead of just, like you said, every now and then?
Way more. And it's like, you also just feel better because you feel like you're above it. I mean, it wasn't until probably I realized like maybe like the 11 months in that I actually stopped even missing it. You know what I mean? Like I always had a foot in the door where I was like, I felt like I was missing out, but now I don't even give a fuck.
I think that's what, because I used to, back when I was competing, I would, and I think you and I were already trained together at this point. Like I would do a competition and literally just kind of say to myself, right, for 6 months now, I won't touch anything. And it was, wouldn't drink at all and it'd be fine. It'd be no issue at all. And for me, it was easy. I just kind of make the decision and that's it. But you talk to a lot of people that even people that just want to go a weekend without the piss.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is not so much that they want to drink. It's the fact that they're worried about missing out, or they're worried about people not wanting to hang out with them because they're not drinking, or the social side of things, not so much the actual alcohol itself. And something that I found super interesting recently, listening to a podcast, is around the language that you use. So I don't know if you found this at all, but for those that are trying to not drink or whatever the behavior change it is, it's instead of going into a Friday night and just going like, oh, I don't want to drink tonight, or I'm not drinking tonight. It's like, I don't drink.
Yeah. Well, that's my answer every time.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that people always think like, people might not want to hang out with me if I'm not drinking and stuff like that. But when should be in reverse. Like when people are like to me, why don't you drink? Like as if you don't drink. I'm like, why do you drink? And they're like, oh, it's fun. I'm like, oh, well, I don't really need it to have fun. I've actually got a personality and I'm fucking can come here and hang out and talk shit. Like I don't need a few fucking cups of concrete to, become this person anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, shouldn't I be asking you why you drink instead of you asking me why I don't drink? Like,
why you don't, yeah.
I think that sounds like I'm a lot more secure and happy in myself than you are.
Yeah. 100%. And not only that, I find, if you have people in your, circle or whatever that are only hanging out with you when you drink, or that are only wanting to spend time with you when you are partying, then they're not the right people to have in your circle anyway.
Exactly. And you know what? Some people can drink. Like some people, I know like people that can have a few drinks, go out, they'll have, it's like my sister, she'll go out, she'll have 4 or 5 drinks sometimes, she'll be home at 11:30 and like, that's her night. And it's like, if you're one of those people that can do that, good luck to you. You deserve to be allowed to have a few drinks. You know what I mean? But I just could never find that balance.
So in that process, or since the last time we've really caught up anyway, you've had a baby, mate. You started your own family, you and Chloe, which is awesome. So congratulations, first of all. But how was that experience, man? I mean, like everyone that I've ever spoken to about having a kid always says that it's just an experience you can't really describe until you've actually done it. But how was that whole thing for you guys, and what's life like now that you've got a kid?
You can't, like, once you have one, you can't really imagine what it was like before you did it. You know what I mean? Like it just becomes so a part of your life that you're like, how did I ever not have this kid? Like I couldn't imagine now a normal day without him.
Yeah.
Like it just would be the weirdest thing.
That's awesome.
And
Did you
we
find?
both took to it.
Sorry, you go.
We took to it both really. Yeah, we just took to it really naturally, I guess. And, you know, I think it was sort of just in our DNA to, you know, we both wanted to be young parents, and we knew that when we first met. And we were like, you know, I think my growth came in a good time too. I was ready, you know, I'd already been through half of my shit at least. So I was on that sort of trajectory heading up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it also just made me way more sure of why I was doing it and what I was doing it for. And it's easily the best decision you'll ever make. And a lot of people always say, like, you know, when are you ready, when you're ready. And I just feel like you're never actually ready. You just got to do it and then adapt and change your lifestyle to make it work.
That's awesome. And what do you find, like, once you guys actually had artists, is it like, did you find yourself trying to, like, I guess, look at different areas of your life and start to think about, you know, how do I want to act in certain situations, or how do I want to be to make sure that you're giving him the best chance to live his best life, I guess. And also, like, you got to, you know, you're a product of your environment. So he really is going to be a product of you guys now. So how you act around him and the values you instill in him. So is that something that you've put a bit of thought to, or is that just kind of just naturally just something that just occurs?
Yeah, we're sort of like that as individuals anyway, but definitely, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no raising your voices and shit like that. Like, just doesn't happen. Like, we don't allow that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the one time he actually freaked out was Chloe was tickling me, and I was like, went like, oh, like, and it sounded like loud and shit, and he freaked out. So he thought we were arguing. And I was like, that just goes to show, like, doesn't, like, he's only 5.5 months year old, but he took that in as like, he full on freaked out. So I was like, imagine if we were there all the time and talking like loud and stuff like that. Like, of course it's going to affect him. It doesn't matter how old he is.
100%.
So we keep it very, very zen in here.
Did you since you've got off the beers, and since you've kind of made that change in your life with your health and everything, and now with artists as well, is there like a certain routine that you try and follow each morning? Like, you know, I'm pretty big on morning routines, and obviously Chloe's right into her structure and different forms of meditation and mindfulness and stuff. Is that something you've made part of your day, or now is it just kind of like just all roll into one? Do you have like a set thing you do each morning?
My mornings are pretty, like, yeah, we're up at basically 6 on the dot with Artie. Sometimes 6:30 he'll wake.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we both just get up. I always just get a coffee. I do 3K a day every day.
Yeah.
Train boxing 5 times a week. So as long as I hit them, you know, I'm pretty happy. Like, that's as much. Definitely hit my run every day, and I'll definitely hit my training every day. As long as I hit them, that's all the routine and structure I need to implement, like, the discipline to keep progressing.
This might be a stupid question, but the time that you would usually spend, not to make it sound like you're partying flat out anyway, but like the time that you would usually spend partying, or, you know, events that times of the year where it would usually lead to partying. So let's say, for example, like a New Year's Eve or a birthday or something like that. Have you found, like, what have you been filling that time in with? Have you found like any interest or stuff that you now kind of really look forward to? You know, you talk to some people about getting on the beers or having a night out, and it's like a Wednesday and they're starting to think about how good the Friday night's going to be or whatever. Like, is there certain things that you kind of look forward to now? Obviously, artists is a big one, but other than that?
Well, we've got an entertaining sort of house. We always have people coming in and out and coming over and doing stuff and floating about. So, you know, we always have our doors open to family and friends and shit. There's always people dropping by and doing things. But, you know, Artie goes to bed at 6:30, and once he's in bed, you know, you got to be home anyway. I just watch movies, read books, listen to podcasts. Been massively into books and podcasts at the moment. So things like that. And then, the thing is, like, once you cut out drinking and all that shit, like, your social circle shrinks by 70%, I reckon. And then the people that you affiliate with are into similar stuff. So like I'll run with mates. I'll do that, like all productive stuff with mates, and it gets to the night time and you're fucked anyway. You just want to go to bed and
Yeah.
be content. You've done what you needed to do for the day.
Yeah. You, in your, over the past kind of 12 months in particular, like people would have noticed a huge change in you physically, and also like the amount of effort and consistency you put in with your training and stuff, which is something you're always pretty on top of anyway, particularly when we were living here. We'd train fairly flat out, and whenever you set your mind to anything, it was like you were very consistent with it. But what does that look like for you, like over say the past 12 months? Obviously you put out a program as well, which did super well. It kind of brought people together and created a little community, which is awesome. You sent that, I had a read through that, and that was awesome. Particularly the part I liked probably the most was the mental side of it as well, and kind of diving deep into that around decision making and how you kind of tackle your mindset. But how does that look like for you, that journey from not only quitting drinking but also really prioritizing your training and your physical health?
Well, as you said, like what I worked out was, when I used to train, like training was a burden and it was hard, but when you get your mind right, you actually want to train. So it doesn't become a chore, you enjoy it. Like I run now every day, and it's my favorite part of the day is my run. Whereas once upon a time I'd be like, oh, I got to go slog out this run. You get your mind right, your body will follow. So I've made that like a pretty important thing when I put out the program, was like that whole mindset, like development is just as important as the physical development. And that's why now, like with my training and stuff like that, it's just so normal in my days. If I don't do it, I feel weird.
Yeah, 100%. And when you're looking at, you're saying before, you're doing your run every day this year, 3K a day, getting back into a bit of boxing fairly flat out now. Are you still doing much lifting and stuff at the moment?
No, weights haven't been. So I when I focus on something, I usually focus on it and put everything into that. So I did my program, which was all weights based. I trained weights every single day for like, I think it was 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And then once that program's done, I was like, okay, I want to find something else that I enjoy. And then is now boxing. So that's what my focus is on. I do a PT session every Wednesday. I do legs with a guy called up here. And then I'll do a bit of upper, chest, back and arms or something like that. But I'm not heavily strict on it. And with boxing anyway, I find that, weights isn't the most important part for, I'm usually, when I do weights and then I box, I feel really sore and
sluggish and slow,
sluggish and stuff like that. But when I just run and box, I feel very, lean and agile and mobile.
Yeah. And how's life up on the coast? Are you enjoying it up in Queensland? Is the plan to stay up there for a bit?
I'll never come back. We just bought a house today.
That'll do it. Yeah. that locks you in for a while. Yeah, nice. Congrats, man. That's epic.
Thanks,
what's the lifestyle like up there? Like, what's a typical day kind of look like? Obviously, you're doing your run and stuff like that, but what do you and Chloe get up to on a day-to-day basis in Queensland?
Usually it just involves juggling Artie to get each other's work done, you know what I mean? So whatever Chloe's got to do, then I have Artie. And then whenever Chloe's got to do stuff, I have Artie. When I got to do stuff, Chloe has Artie. And then I usually use up most of my hours training and doing that sort of stuff. And then once he goes to bed, I usually, get my work done and emails and stuff like that. But a normal day is pretty much I train twice, sometimes 3 times, and then I'll be watching Artie for most of the day / working. And then once he's in bed, I either relax or get what other work I've got to get done. And Chloe's is pretty similar.
That's epic. And I mean, you talked about at the start how, just backtracking again, just quickly, in regards to the stopping the drinking, like at the start, the decision was pretty simple in a way, because you said, if you do drink, everything turns to shit. If you stop drinking, everything is positive, everything's good. But I mean, there's really never an extended period of time where there's not some form of kind of adversity or something that goes south. So what has been probably like any of the harder, more difficult parts about not only giving up drinking, but also like moving away from home, trying to run a business still, obviously training and prioritizing that now, and pretty much making a massive lifestyle change. What has been some of the things that people may not see on social media or whatever that has been quite difficult for you?
I guess it's coming to terms with the fact that life isn't that like up there. You know what I mean? I lived the high life for a long time, doing a lot and experiencing a lot and constantly being fucking stimulated and like just doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think coming to terms with the fact that life's pretty here, you know what I mean? It's a very, you have your moments that'll be exciting and be up here, but you're not supposed to just live that way. And it's really hard to sort of maintain that lifestyle, and it will burn you out. So coming to terms with the fact that, for me, a good day is like, I look forward to just hitting 7 o'clock once Artie's asleep, putting on a movie or a podcast or something like that, chilling out on the couch, having something to eat. Like, that to me is a really good day. Whereas that was boring as fuck to me once upon a time, but it's just retraining yourself to know that, you don't have to be doing something all the time, and life doesn't have to be that, crazy and exciting, and you can still get fulfillment from the smaller things, which is like, starting a family, saving together, buying a house, doing all that shit, working on your businesses, working on your brands, and then, going on holidays together and shit like that. Like, that's where I find enjoyment now.
That's awesome, man. So good to hear. And what is the next kind of few years look like for you guys? Like, obviously much the same. Artists growing up will be a pretty exciting process and pretty exciting to kind of live through. But yeah, have you got any kind of big plans coming up in the next few years, or just kind of cruise along much like you're talking about now, and just kind of level out and continue to chip away at the goals that you've set for yourselves?
Yeah, just getting better 1% every day at a time. Really, that's all I sort of focus on. That's what another thing is, I haven't been too hard on myself. I set my goals at the start of the year, and, they're very loosely written, but basically I had a realization that as long as every single day I do the right things by myself and do what I want to do and keep myself accountable to those things, that I know that I'm just going to keep progressing every day, and every day by progressing, things are going to get better for me. And I don't really have much focus on or much pressure around work and all this stuff. I just feel like when I get my mind and my body right, the rest follows anyway. So that's what I'm strict on and disciplined on. And when I am like that, everything seems to work for me.
That's great, man. And you mentioned you've been reading a few books and listening to a few audio books and stuff like that. I obviously talk about a number of different ones that I listen to on the podcast, and usually give a few recommendations and ask most guests, like, if they've read any kind of pivotal ones recently. Is there any that you've got in mind that have been kind of pretty influential on you recently that you could recommend?
Yep. The best book that I've read by far is Atomic Habits.
Yeah. Nice. Love it.
Yeah. Just unbelievable, and just far too true and too simple. Like, they just simplify life. It's like compounding the small habits every single day. Doing 1% more every single day. If you do 1% more every single day, at the end of that year, you'll be 37 times better off than you were at the start of the year. And you keep doing that year after year after year after year, no one will catch you.
Epic, man. Well, that's a pretty hectic way to finish up the episode.
And then I'll recommend a podcast too.
Fitness and lifestyle.
Well, this one's discussional based, but I'd highly recommend, for mindset, if you want to have a great outlook on life, the Joe Rogan podcast with Naval Ravikant. Unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
He has got the mentality.
I'll put the link to that episode in the show notes for everyone to check out, along with I'll put up a link to Atomic Habits as well. But man, it was epic to catch up and have a quick chat, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up in person some stage soon. But appreciate you sharing, man. I'm glad everything's going well for you. You've made some epic changes, and it's been awesome to watch. So well done to you, man, and just keep moving forward. Like you said, just 1% at a time. But yeah, thanks for your time, brother.
All right, bro. Good to chat.
Awesome,
all right,
man. Thanks so much. Cheers, bro.